Welcome back to Under the Twin Suns, live from the scruffiest, the wompiest, the raddest, the cantina is cantina. The picture is up on the screen. It's Cole, your boy. I'm back, and I'm joined with Chris this week for another duo cast. Just me and Chris, though.
Good evening, all. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year coming up, all that stuff.
Happy Life Day indeed to everybody. We hope you had a lovely holiday, whatever you celebrate. Life Day, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. I'm probably forgetting some, and I apologize if I'm forgetting some. But we're here to talk about Star Wars Unlimited. First off, a couple things. One, we have been blown away by the support, the comments, the views, all the kind things all you kind people have to say about the channel. Thank you for coming, thank you for joining us, and we hope you stick around. So, a lot has been going on in the Star Wars Unlimited world. First thing I wanted to talk about, Chris, we had talked about it. Steve and I talked about it on our last duocast a little bit about the Trilogy tournament we just played in, which was I had okay, you know me, I'm a little bit of a Debbie Downer sometimes. I went into this thinking it would not be as fun as Premiere. This was more fun to me than Premiere. So the way that it worked for our audience who maybe didn't catch us last week, we took a little the Bothan. It's the Bothan Spy Network we got this inspiration from, right? Chris, that sounds right. The Bothan Spy Network, something like that.
I don't know, Steve organized everything, so I don't remember who came up with the original idea, but I know we snatched it from somewhere and it was cool. I agree with you.
I think it was the Bothan Spy Network. I will double check with Steve. I'll put a disclaimer on the screen if I'm wrong about where it was, because we want to give credit to the original people. They had taken a spin on Trilogy that, in my opinion, is how FFG should change it to be. Instead of having 3 Trilogy decks and you go one on one, you have a team of 3 who share a card pool list, like Trilogy. So my team was I played Boba Byrne, Kennedy played the new Leia Organa, Green. I don't remember what her tagline is, but the new one from Secrets of Power. And then Tyler played Shudders, Piet Red, which I felt bad for anyone who had to go up against that. But it was so fun, especially because like some of the matches were really quick. Like I played an aggro deck, so most of my games were over quicker, so I was able to help Kennedy and Tyler, or they were able to help me if I got in a stick. The only one thing that I did go, she's back. Y'all, Sabine is back. I forgot about Sabine. I saw Wade Sabine, yo, because your team. I'm not gonna spoil it. Your team also had a power 3, Chris, of some powerful combos that were cool. But yeah, it was a lot of fun just seeing the different combinations that everyone had. And it was also kind of fun to watch your opponents like try to get in your head because we didn't play with deck lists. So they were like, "Ooh, who's got the Ruthless Raiders between me and Tyler, or who's got the resupplies, or stuff like that." Like it was interesting to see as people would play around the tactics that they would expect. But those cards aren't in there. How about
Yeah,
you?
um, I agree. It was fun coming up with combos here. Um, very, very interesting to chat over those deck lists and which cards each of us would play. And then while we were testing, we'd be like, oh, well, I want to add this in. And so I think that was the thing we will have to figure out beforehand next time because whenever we would make an adjustment, we were all making adjustments at the same time. So then we would want to go in and add a different card, take out a card and then add in a different card. And then, of course, we would all be trying to add in the same card or something like that. So just figuring out those pieces there next time, because that got a little hectic there right before
I
the
can
tournament.
imagine.
Yeah.
For me, the part that I liked so much was since my red list was cut off a little bit by Tyler, and like not in a bad way, he needed those cards more than I did. Like I didn't need Ruthless Raider, I didn't need Plan Bomb, I didn't need those. It forced me to find other cool stuff. Like one of the cards I was playing that I don't think anybody plays in this list, and if they do, sorry, I'm not an expert. Hondo. I love Hondo because I'm playing such an aggro that even if I flip out Boba onto the ground. I won a game this way, Chris. I won a game by playing Hondo on the ground when somebody had 5 life or excuse me, playing Boba on the ground, plotting out Hondo, and they go, "Well, I have 5 life left." I'm like, "Yeah, Hondo gives him raid 1." Um
Nice.
which is I mean, Hondo's a good card, but I feel like it's overshadowed by other better things in the rotation. I see that card becoming somewhat meta once the rotation occurs. But I could be wrong. I say a lot of things are going to be meta, and then they're not. But yeah, we highly recommend trying out this format. I know it brought some players to the shop I haven't seen in a while. It brought some players from outside the RVA area because they were interested to try it. But I guess also part of that's on Steve because he's such a good event spokesman. He did a great job of communicating it out.
Yeah, and
But
I thought it was
sorry.
really interesting just how, because of how this format is, that I saw leaders and decks being used that I have not seen before.
Mhm.
And it was just really interesting to see the synergy and how folks were working together. It was really, really, really fun. I agree with you there, and I agree with you that folks should try it out and just really get a sense of how fun it is. And I hope that we do it more often.
Agreed. I God bless our friend Tyler. Not the one who's on this show. We have another friend Tyler who plays at the store with us, who's Steve's friend. Great guy, phenomenal guy. Big fan of him. I know he's a listener. Shout out to you, Tyler. Brother was trying to make Ray Yellow work. No, not no listeners. Not Ray from Shadows. Ray Legends of the Force. And he actually had some combos go off that I went, damn, that's kind of cool.
Hmm.
So I completely agree. I almost think we should maybe do this tournament again with a little bit more of a fun, little twisty two of what are the lower meta leaders and see what people can come up with. Like a, you know me, I'm gonna bring Rio Durant out, see if I can make something work. I can't, audience, I can't. I've tried so much. I really thought the escape pod was gonna help Rio a lot. That's just a random thought, not about the show. I'm just saying, like I thought that was gonna help. It really was not as good as I thought it would be.
I, yeah, I don't understand that card.
The escape pod. I think in theory, let's say you're playing double yellow DJ with blue. I think that is the list it's supposed to work in. But for
Mm.
Rio, it gives you two because with the +1 attack, it gives you what 2 1/3s on turn one, but that's still just really not much. All right, let's move on to our next topic. It's spoiler season. We're starting to get like our first couple serious spoilers for a lawless time. I personally am excited. The card art varies, as we've talked about. Some of it's great, some of it's non-human, is what I'll say. But overall, I'm very much looking forward to this set. I know we've seen like, hold up, 5, 10, 15. We've only seen about 20 cards, but there's some stuff in here that gets my jimmies going. I've got a couple cards that I've picked out that I want to talk about, if that's okay, Chris.
Go for it.
All right, so the first one is actually one that I don't plan on playing, but I know a lot of people play this deck, and it's only going to get better. The Hans Golden Dice card, on attack, discard a card from your deck. If it's an odd cost, create a credit token. It's a one-drop upgrade. I mean, that's just going to be great in any of the Han odd lists, which I know Dante's a big fan of. But that card will make that deck go up in popularity and power, in my opinion. Because now every time you're attacking, you're not only attacking, you're getting an additional free resource. For those of us who maybe haven't heard about the new mechanic coming, credit tokens are just treasure tokens for Magic. It's just one free resource. Another, I'm actually going to keep going with the same thought. This is a card that I'm excited for in my Twin Suns deck specifically. The Han Solo 1-drop. It's a 1/1 green blue shielded on attack. Give an experience token to this unit. That's going right in my Twin Suns Rebel deck. I think that's a really good 1-drop. It replaces a lot of the 1-drops I've currently got. But yeah, that's another one that I'm looking forward to a lot. And then this one just made me laugh. I picked this one because of the art, but I could also see it being a relevant card. Dude, are you looking at this art? You looking at the Salacious Crumb art? Tell me that's not adorable. That he's going, and it's not bad. A 1-drop that's a 2/2 if you control Jabba that enters play ready is crazy.
Yeah.
Anything that can enter play ready. That won me a couple of my games in the Trilogy tournament, like having the Fet's Fire Spray come out as, I want to say the real word of it, but I know that Disney doesn't allow that word anymore, but Fet's Fire Spray. Real ones know. But yeah, the Salacious Crumb makes me laugh. Are there any of these cards that get you going?
Not yet. And I maybe it's just because enough hasn't come out. Like I haven't seen any of the new leaders, you
Yeah.
know, what some of the synergy's gonna be. So maybe that's why I'm not super, into any of the cards yet. I already made a comment to you all in our chats about how the I'll be sad about Spectres, not,
Hmm.
the old Spectre leaders. So I would be excited if there's a new Spectre leader because I'm always trying to make Spectre work, even though it has so hasn't happened yet. Um,
I dream of a day where it happens for you. There's just so much there. It has to, like, something's got to come together.
One would hope, but haven't seen it yet. I'll be really interested because I think we all first thought at first that the dual aspect cards would just be good for Twin Suns. But now I don't know if that will be the case. I'm getting more of a feel that it will. I don't know. I'm waiting to see how this all comes together with the more cards that they put out and the more spoilers that we get. So we'll see.
Yeah, I do agree. One interesting thing you said, we had talked about this, you and I. I think if anything, Hera will now be dominant in Eternal, just because there's so many Spectre cards across the board from all the sets. If that makes sense.
I agree. Maybe maybe not. I just because she doesn't
I
really
could see
have
it in a
a.
world, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying like, oh my god, there's no way, but I could see it.
Yeah, they're just, the more Spectre stuff that comes out, the more you give her to work with. So it hurts her that she doesn't have anything viable before she flips.
Mm.
So we'll see. But now that we've got all these cards to like with plot, you can beef her up before you can beef her up when you flip her, so
Mm-hmm.
that helps her as well. So we'll see how it goes, but I could see her being more viable as a leader in Eternal.
Yeah. I did lie. There's one other card that gets me going, and you know this because this is how I play Magic the Gathering. Um, for those who have not had the pleasure, quote unquote, of playing Magic the Gathering with me, I'm surprised Chris didn't laugh at that one. Um, I play what's called Landfall, and I play a lot of. You can look at the top card of your library at any time. Like I love that because you know me, I don't like to draw cards when I'm playing Landfall, but I love to look at the top deck. Like I love just like the top deck, like lands and stuff. Hondo Onaka is that. You may look at the top card of your deck at any time, and then the action is play the top card of your deck using this ability only once per round. That's just fun to me. That'll be a fun Twin Suns card.
Yeah, that'll be nice utility in Twin Suns because it's just so important to be able to, control what you're drawing into.
Mm-hmm. And plus, it lets you almost have like an additional hand, which is what's fun to me. I love all these different ways of finding different ways to make your hand, like plot, smuggle, this stuff like that is just a hoot to me.
That could be really helpful even in Premiere with
Oh, I think this could
cutting.
be a very viable Premier card. This is the only Hondo Onaka Premier card that I have ever thought will be viable in Premier. That's a
I mean,
lie. I literally just talked about Red Hondo. I'm sorry, I besmirched his name.
with
Two
both those
Hondo
colors,
cards.
it's important.
Because the two previous Hondo cards, the double blue one's bad. I don't remember why. It just wasn't good. And then the leader just. There's not enough smuggle support.
Yeah,
So the poll has closed, Chris, and the people are currently watching Star Wars: Empire at War: Forces of Corruption campaign footage. And let us know if you like this below or if you want to see something different next time. It's an old school Age of Empires 2 type game. Um, Leave a comment below if you're interested in the story. I could talk about the story a little bit maybe next time. It's a really, really good game. It's just the general like mid 2000s, Chris. Do you remember like in Legends, everything was just. And then Palpatine built another super weapon and cloned himself. It's basically that.
where he was resurrected 15 times.
Yeah. But listen. Okay. You got me going again. You cannot just say, and somehow Palpatine returned. There were so many ways he returned with so many good answers. Just pick one. Just...
Ooh,
Hot take. Actually, I have a kind of hot take, Chris, and I'm curious to hear your opinion on this. Do you know what my
okay.
favorite Palpatine returning way was?
What?
Battlefront 2 2015, where he comes back on the robots. That makes much more sense to me.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about, like where they do Operation Cinder, and there's like all those like almost like Royal Guard looking like droids, where like the Emperor's face is on. He's like destroy the planets.
That's
I
been
like
so
that
long.
better than the like infinite. It almost felt cheap to me in the mid 2000s, and I want to know your opinion on this. Do you know what a lot of those reminded me of? It just felt like not Disney, because I can't blame Disney. Like Lucas Arts was just like, that resurrection pit from Batman with Ra's al Ghul's pretty good. What if we did that 20 times?
It was, Rachel Gould had it going. He had the formula correct.
He did, until he started going mad. I guess he also
True.
created the Red Hood. Shout out to him for that. And before anyone complains that Chris and I are just talking about comic books, I don't know what you want me to talk about. This is me and Chris. This is what we talk about.
Yeah, huge comic nerd here.
Yeah, we love comic books here. So is there anything else we wanted to talk about for Star Wars Unlimited? We talked about the trilogy. We talked about a little bit of the spoilers. It's a little bit of a weird time right now because we're in between the PQ season. So there's
Yeah.
not too much news, especially because we're in like the early spoiler time. Market Report is interesting if you want to check that out. There's a couple new rares that are worth some money from this set. And then I talked about I want to get your opinion on this, Chris, just because we have time to fill. I had talked about on Market Report how for the first time in quite a while, I would say since the Devastator was the last promo for JTL, the store showdown promos, because it's an Amidala. I don't know if you know that it's an Amidala. Um, Often those promos help to bring down the price of the regular legendary, and that was my main topic about Market Report and like not rushing out and buying three Amidalas right now because they're $30 a piece. I could see that card dropping to about 15 to 20, where Anakin is right now, from Legends of the Force. Because if you look at the Devastators, for example, the standard Devastator now is about $10. The hyperspace is about 15, and the lowest promo, which is the top 8, is I think $9 or $10. So I could totally see that happening with Amidalas. And the other interesting thing about those is I had brought this up on the Market Report. Since stores are still contracted to do Star Wars Unlimited events, even if they're not selling product, even if they're not hosting weekly play events, they will get that kit and sell it on TCG Player. There's a specific store in Richmond who does this, and I'm gonna bleep them out, but I'm gonna say it for Chris right now. They still get their promos. Or I'm so sorry, I'm gonna double bleep that, Chris. That's not the right store. But I'm still bleeping both because I'm not trying to disrespect either. The first store that I said I'm wrong about, it is the second store. But they every time I'm on their TCG player, like the week before we have our store showdown, they have the store showdown promos on their TCG player.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. So that was my interest. What do you think? Do you think it'll come down in price? It's a really okay. So first off, I'm not talking Amidala. It is a really, really good card. Um, but it does. There's always that one like $30 to $40 card for a little bit, and then it just floors. It was
Yeah,
Luke for the longest time. Then it was Devastators and Plan Bomb for a little bit. Then it was Anakin and Darth Vader from Legends of the Force, which have both come back down. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead, my friend.
you're fine. I agree with you, but at the same time, it's really heavily used, especially in the Anakin deck right now. That's making pretty good rounds for the qualifiers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know what it would take before it really loses momentum with its price. I think there would have to be we'd have to start seeing quite a few of those promos flooding the market before it would start seeing some downward momentum.
Yeah, and I guess that's
There's no,
just me hoping because I want people to get. Once again, one of the things I love about this game is it's so cheap to get into. You can make a relatively competitive deck for I would say $20 to $25. Like if you get a cheap Sabine or a cheap Vader deck, like it's easy to get into, and that's one thing I like. I just don't like seeing these one or two cards. And of course, I see the irony in what I'm saying as a man with several $1,000s in Magic cards. Um, but I would love to see it that more players could keep getting into the game. I also think I have another hot take. You know about Riftbound? Have you heard about this? The League of Legends card game that's taken a lot of people away.
I know that a lot of people are into it, but I don't know any specifics
Their
about it
supply
because
issue is messed up beyond belief. So I think they're going to have a similar issue that we saw with Spark of Rebellion, where people are into it for a little bit and then they'll come back to us because they can't find any product. And then Gundam is a similar way right now. That's taking a lot of people's attention as well. But I have hope. I'm looking forward to playing in the PQ. I think I'm going to go to the Forge as long as I'm free that weekend. I know that we have our concerns, but we'll find out what happens. And when we say concerns, once again, we're not talking like, oh, it's going to be bad. Chris did a little recon. They claim to be able to fit 128 people. There is no way on God's green earth they will fit 128 people, unless I'm speaking incorrectly, Chris. Go ahead.
I don't know if they've claimed that they can fit it. It's just that it doesn't state anywhere on their event that, it's not the normal PQ that fits 128 people. It just there no, that's not happening. There's, I counted the number of tables and the number of seats at each table, and it's a limited space, and there's also limited parking there, so it's not 128 people, and that actually reminds me if I'm gonna go, I should probably sign up for that.
Yeah, I'm signing
Soon.
up in January once I have my full like February schedule. But if you guys want to come play cards and probably beat me because I'm not really good at this game as much as we joke, I will be there at the Forge on February whatevereth. And if you for some reason watch this show and you see us, I will be wearing my Under the Twin Sun shirt. Feel free to say hi. I'm a little shy guy, but I would be pleasant and I would love to speak to the fans if you exist, which I know you do. Either way, Chris, I think that's all I got, unless you got something else for the people.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, Chris, I have one question for you because nobody was on Market Report with me last week, and I was just curious about this. Have This is our final question, and then we'll call it here. Have you opened any sealed product lately from any game, and felt like, wow, I got my money worth out of that?
Mm. The most recent, besides, just packs, through winning, I bought a box of the most recent Final Fantasy trading card game. Um, and I mean, I got some nice hits in there, but I don't know if it was, actually matched the price of what I paid for the box.
Mm-hmm.
And that's we've had this discussion. We always have this discussion of I don't collect to you know make money and profit off of
Oh,
it. I
100%. No, this is my catharsis. This is my fun. This is my hobby. Absolutely.
right, but I do always have that thought in the back of my head. If
Oh, of
I
course. You always want to see the serialized card or the showcase. Like you want to see it. Yeah.
well, I like to try and break even. It's a little depressing when, yes, we talk about affordability of getting into it, but if you're paying 95 to $100 for a box, and then you look at what quote unquote your cards are
Yeah,
worth, and
that's
it's
very
like,
fair. Yeah.
and your cards are only worth $25 when you paid $100 for the box.
Yeah, it doesn't feel great.
That's kind of where I start to get a little and I'm like, is this a bad was this a bad deal? Did that's where I start to really be like, But then there's the, folks say you should have just bought singles. But then just like with the Queen Amidala, it's like, you had your chance of drawing a couple, two, three Queen Amidalas that you may have needed for some deck.
Yep.
And you wouldn't have got, I would, three of those is like the cost of a box. Well, yeah, right now it's about the cost of a box. So it's, what's the right thing to do there?
True. I opened one of the Chocobo bundles, and I felt like I got my money out of that because there were some cool promos. I got the traveling Chocobo. I got the Birds of Paradise Chocobo. I got my track foil Chocobo card was a. It wasn't one of the big hits, but on the bright side, I play the card. I got the Moogle Merchant, the one drop like lifelink thing. I played in my cloud deck. So,
Mm.
and then for the first time in a long time, I actually looked at the full art lands and went, "Damn, these are cool." I've actually started slowly but surely buying them on TCG Player so that I can have my entire landfall deck all Chocobo foils in land.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen full art lands that I've really been into as well that
Next time
aren't
we're in the shop, remind me to show you the Chocobo ones. They're really pretty.
okay.
But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us under the Twin Suns. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a happy New Year. Be safe. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening, and thank you for your support. And give your best to your loved ones and tell them that you care about them. Chris,
Thank you all. Have a good night.
thank you, friends. Bye bye now. We'll catch you under the Twin Suns next time.